Hey everybody, welcome back to another Kingdom Hearts 2.5 how-to video. Now in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get the Ultima Weapon Keyblade. But first we need to take a look at the items we're going to need. So for this you're going to need quite a few items, but not to worry because they are pretty easy to get. Now starting from the top you're going to need Orichalcum Plus, Orichalcum, Mithril, Dense, Twilight, Serenity, and energy crystals. Now the thing with the Orichalcum Plus is it says you need 13, but there are only 7 total in the game, so that's why you need the energy crystal to half the recipe cost. Now for the other items, at least for me, the Mithril Crystal and Serenity Crystals, I had to personally synthesize those because I did not have enough of them. Now you do get a couple going through the game, but I had to use them. So for those, you're going to need to synthesize a Mithril Gem with a Serenity Stone attached to it. Okay, and so all you need from this are Dense Gems and Twilight Gems. Now, Serenity Crystals, you need Tranquility Crystals, Remembrance Crystals, and Bright Gems. But before we begin, I need to show you where to get the Ultima Weapon recipe. And for that, you're going to need to go to Twilight Town. And in Twilight Town, you need to go to the Old Mansion. Now, once you're inside, you need to go up the right set of stairs into the room where the floor disappears. Now, all you need to do is drop off the edge and go into the computer room. Now, continue on around to the left and through the door. And in the next area, there's a door on the right side of the room. Go through there. Now up ahead there's going to be a chest with the Ultima Weapon recipe. So first we're going to look at Dense Crystals and Dense Gems. Now Dense Crystals are dropped by Berserkers and Dense Gems are dropped by Samurais. Up next we have Twilight Crystals. Now these are dropped by Sorcerers. Next we have Twilight Gems, and I think these are called Assassins, if I'm not mistaken. Next we have Serenity Stones. Now these are dropped by the red floaty Heartless, I think it's called Crimson Jazz. Next we need Energy Crystals, and these are dropped by Bookmasters. Now, time for Tranquility Crystals. Now I suggest using the Organization 13 mushroom inside Halloween Town. Now for this you need to make sure that you have Stitch and that he is at a decent level, like 5 or 6. Because for this method, to get a Tranquility Crystal you have to complete the Mushroom 13's challenge. And what I mean by that is in Jiminy's journal they have a certain challenge set to each one. So for him, he will throw like energy beams at you, and you have to deflect them back. Okay, you have to deflect 80 or more in order to complete his challenge. So then if you complete his challenge, you then get a Tranquility Crystal. So before you start, summon Stitch, and make sure you have Reflect. Okay, so lock on, and then cast Reflect when his arm goes up into the air. Okay, now he's kind of tricky because some of his energy beams will slow and then speed up. And then he'll throw more than one sometimes. And then they'll go behind you too. So you just keep casting Reflect. And for me, at least, this one's pretty easy. So 80 times is nothing. And then you get you're pretty much guaranteed a Tranquility Crystal for that. And there's your Tranquility Crystal. So up next are Remembrance Crystals. Now these are dropped by a Heartless called Reckless. Now you may recognize the counterpart of this in the Space Paranoids world. But for this is in the Cave of Remembrance. If you have not completed this yet, click on the link in the upper right hand corner to go watch my video on how to get through the Cave of Remembrance. Up next we have Bright Crystals. Now these are dropped by air pirates. Now once you've got all these items, it's time to get the Orichalcum pluses. Now the first one, we're going to go to the Space Paranoids. Now you need to go to Hollow Bastion, and here you need to go to Ansom's Study. Now when you go up to the computer, you need to choose Central Computer Core. Now if you haven't already gotten this, which you should have, hopefully, there is a chest right after you get off the Solar Sailor. Right here, this first chest has that Orichalcum Plus. Now next we're going to look at the second one in Sunset Terrace. Now you need to go to Twilight Town for this. Now if you don't have the save point in Sunset Terrace, you can go to the train station, take the train, and then get to Sunset Terrace. But for me, I already have the save point. So now once here, head down the stairs, and this one is going to be located on top of a roof. So this roof right here is going to have your Orichalcum Plus on it. Now for me, since I have high jump and aerial dodge, it's no problem to get up there. But if you're at a lower level, you can use the tram to hop onto it and then hop onto the roof. So up next is the World That Never Was. Now here you're going to need to go to the Brink of Despair. Now that's the part right before you go into the Organization 13's castle. Now here you're going to have a little piece of, I guess, road that hasn't fallen off yet, off to the left. And as you can see, there's nothing to the right. So here in this chest you're going to find your next Orichalcum Plus. So up next we're going to have Atlantica. Now this one I absolutely hate. Okay, so you have about 5 little mini games inside here. Now on the 5th one, I'm trying to think of the name. A New Day is Dawning is what it is. Once you complete this, you will then get your next Orichalcum Plus. So all you have to do once it kicks you out of the world, go back in and talk to Sebastian. Now go talk to Sebastian and start your 5th and final minigame for this world. Now if I'm not mistaken, I think you have to get 30,000 points or better on this minigame to actually clear it. So yeah, it's 30,000 points and I got 90. Now I mean this is so easy. It's just I absolutely hate this world because it feels like a huge waste of time for me, and I'm sorry for anybody who does like this world. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but this is how you get your next Orichalcum Plus. So up next we got the Goddess of Fate Cup. Now for this you need to go and talk to Panic. Now once here you can enter the Goddess of Fate Cup. Now I'm not going to show you the whole thing, I'm just going to fast forward to the end. Now once you defeat Hades, you will then get your next Orichalcum Plus. And also you'll get a Keyblade if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so Fatal Crest and Orichalcum Plus. So up next we have 100 Acre Woods. Now this is going to be inside the Winnie the Pooh storybook, inside Merlin's house. Now in order to complete this, you have to find all 5 torn pages. Now once you complete the first 4 minigames, you then get Starry Hill. Now this is going to be your last one where you get the Orichalcum Plus. So head on up to the top of the hill with the giant tree on top. Now this is pretty simple in theory. I had a lot of trouble with this for some reason, but you have to get the honey pot off of Pooh's head. Now to begin, press triangle, don't hold it. And then press triangle again when the power gauge in the upper right hand corner is about half to 3/4 of the way full, and you get your last or second to last Orichalcum Plus. So for the last Orichalcum Plus, you need one of each of the 60 different synthesizing items in the game. Take those to the moogle and he'll give you your next or your last Orichalcum Plus. Now once you've done all that and you have all 7 of those Orichalcum Pluses and all the other items, you can then go back to the moogle and synthesize your Ultima Weapon Keyblade. Now before we end this video, I just want to make a quick note for anybody who's having trouble with that last Orichalcum Plus, trying to get those 60 different synthesizing items. More than likely, I've had a lot of people ask me where to get those last 6 items, and more than likely you're not going to the Cave of Remembrance yet. Okay, so click in the upper right hand corner, there's going to be a video on the Cavern of Remembrance, a complete walkthrough, and I'll show you how to get those last items. So, for anybody who liked this video, hit that like button. Subscribe for more content. Any comments or questions or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.